That goes back to that dynamic of rising above the gender to the third position, where you are seeing things and you're looking at the dynamic of the masculine and the feminine, and you can at least identify what the difficulty is. And the difficulty is not just the masculine as opposed to the feminine. It's a certain aspect of the feminine opposed to a certain aspect of the feminine opposed to the masculine. And you got that whole big gobbledygook of energy that is all mixed up and ineffective in its own way because there has never been any overview of the whole dynamic to be able to solve the problems because the problems are not beyond solving. But it means that you must, what shall we say, move beyond the status quo, move beyond the dynamics of comfort in many ways.
Well, it's already pretty uncomfortable.
Well, but again, that's because nobody's looking for answers. You look at the dynamics of war in your world and all of that stuff, and we hate to go back to the basics that we always go back to, but we'll take an opportunity to say it one more time, in case there's certain people out there that have never heard this dynamic. What is it, Adrienne?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Think for a moment.
Advanced civilization measures
Advanced civilization measures
its built.
itself by how well the least of you are doing, not the best. The solution to the problem is to provide everyone on the planet, and we mean every human being on the planet, with adequate food, water, shelter, and if you really wish to be evolved, healthcare and education. Now, oh no, that's communism. Oh no, that's so. Well, it is and it's not. Because if you talk to any economist, they would tell you that it requires such a small percentage of the daily GDP of the world to provide that dynamic for everyone, that there's still a huge amount of money and availability. It's kind of like a collective capitalism. That once everybody's basic needs are met, then you can do whatever you wish. And with AI and all of that, that tends to be coming.
Barry, what were you saying?
And then you have freedom.
Right.
But, you have this huge belief in your world that there's not enough and you have to keep compete with each other for scarce resources. Well, you want to solve the problem in Iran? Well, grant them all food, water, shelter, healthcare, and education on an
Let's
equal
send a letter
basis.
to the government. They'll listen to us.
Again, it doesn't have to be through the government. Just expand your possibilities. Expand your possibilities.
So it sounds as though, I mean, we didn't deal at all with the emotional stuff from the separation, but we've dealt with the beliefs and the templates that have developed
Oh,
from that.
you're dealing with the emotional stuff. You're just not dealing with it very well.
Well, I
You're
understand
still
that,
dealing with it like an adolescent. Right, exactly.
but what's missing here is an overview, both feminine and masculine, of taking responsibility for the species.
Of looking at the bigger picture. You know, we don't have to convince you that this is the truth. If you continue along these paths, you will become extinct eventually, probably sooner than later, because there will not be the, what shall we say, the levels of desire, levels of intelligence that come from the dynamic of wishing to be more and having excitement around research and wishing to learn new things and, you know, and that's probably because you are told that God's going to punish you if you fuck up. Well, isn't that often the dynamics that keeps you in check, keeps you in line personally? Is your personal shame as well as the dynamic of the shame of the entire species?
Usually, I walk away from these sessions with you with some hope, and I'm not, I'm not having that experience
Well,
today.
that's because we're trying to encourage you all to think outside of the box. That your answers are not going to come from, you know, you demonize those things. You demonize a way of operating with each other that would be a dynamic where you turn your energy toward each other and you live more collectively in
Hmm.
that sort of way, where
Right.
you have a certain dynamic of understanding and love and realization that if you claim to be a divine being manifested in the physical body, then you have to give that grace to everyone
Everyone else.
else. And if you operate within that premise of that level of respect, then you're going to take care of even the least of you.
Hmm.
And those that are, what's the word? Um, those that are anticipating a dynamic of wishing to create more in their lives, there is plenty of room to be
Hmm.
able to do that. But if you just wish to sit back and refurbish the dynamics of Civil War fabrics and get involved in those dynamics of history and that sort of situation, or you wish to do anything else in your world, you have the freedom, you have the opportunity to basically do as you wish because you do not have to earn a living anymore. Now, does that mean a whole bunch of you are going to be fat and lazy?
For a while.
Not so much.
Then you get bored.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we think one of the first things that would happen would be that the population would increase. Right, right, all right, all
Um,
right, dear ones. We love you all so very, very much. Until next time, we close, sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.